Hey everybody, it's Beth from Yoga and Reiki Bliss, and I wanted to pop in real quickly with a little mini practice in preparation for a supported ardha chandrasana. A supported revolved ardha chandrasana, right? So revolved, twisted, parivrtta, ardha chandrasana, half moon pose. And so for our practice today, you need a little bit of space. You'll need a blanket and you'll need a chair, or if you don't have a chair, a stool will do. You could use some blocks, but I'd love you to have a little bit of height. So let's hop on the mat. And we'll just take a moment to start lying down. You can have your knees bent and allow yourself to arrive. Feel your body as it comes to rest on the ground. And just notice how this position might be different than the position you've been in for the bulk of your day. Notice how your body receives the floor. What's willing to release. Where are the parts that are still resistant to releasing? And just rest your attention in those spots. And guide your attention to your breathing. And very simply notice when you breathe in and when you breathe out. These next few rounds of breath, we're not trying to direct the breath, control the breath. I would just love you to know, hey, I'm breathing in and hey, I'm breathing out. And then the next time you inhale, allow your arms to open out to the sides, pretty wide, like a T. And exhale, bring both knees up over each hip. So you've got like a 90-degree angle at your hip and your knee joints. We're going to try to keep this shape, but tip it all the way over to your left. And if you need a little blanket under your head or a block, you can put that. Otherwise, you can rest your head for just a few moments. We'll be here. And so our top arm is going to be the moving body part. And what I'd love to just be mindful of for these first couple of rounds, so we can have one experience versus another, is that we're going to keep the hips stacked and the knees stacked. And we're going to just see what the rotation through the middle upper back is. So the next time you inhale, reach out a little bit through your right arm, scoop your right arm up and let it open out to the right. And let your belly and your chest open up. Make a little twist. And then when you exhale, close everything back up. And we're going to try to keep the hips and the knees stacked. Reach out, and open. And just notice that range, and then close it on up. Now this time, when we open and close, we're going to let the hips do what they want to do. So inhale, scoop your arm up, let it open, and if we wanted to bring your right shoulder blade and the back of your arm easily to the ground, what do you need to do? So for me, I need to let my hip and my knee lift a little bit. And then we'll close it up. And one more time, inhale, open it up. And then stay there and enjoy your breath. Now from here, go ahead and take your top right leg and reach it out in the direction of your left hand. Your left hand can hold that leg about hip height, make a little kickstand, and then outstretch your bottom leg toward the front edge of your mat. Breathe your breath. And so here we are, like a revolved ardha chandrasana, or a revolved triangle even. Take one more breath. Then go ahead, close up your legs, you bend your knees, and roll yourself all the way onto your left side. Good, enjoy your breath in. And when you exhale, roll onto your back and all the way over to the other side. Now you're laying on your right side, same shape, hips and knees at a 90-degree angle at those joints. Now your left arm is going to be the moving body part. As you inhale, lift your left arm up and open. And how far do you go on this side without changing the hips or the knees? And then close it back up. So that's our one constraint. We'll just see what the rotation is if we keep the lower body still. And close it back up. Now this time, go ahead. Let that constraint go. Open it up. And what do you need to do to bring the shoulder blade and the arm to the ground? Right? So again, for me, my knees need to separate a bit. My hips unstack. My left hip slides back. And then close it on up. And one more time. Inhale, open it up, and then let it stay. Now we're going to take the top leg and reach it straight out in the direction of your right hand and make a little kickstand with your right arm, support it. And then take your your right leg straight down like you were standing on it. And breathe your breath in. And notice all the parts of you that are twisting. Let's enjoy one more breath. And then when you exhale, rebend everything up. Close it on up. Enjoy a moment. And then press your way on up. Terrific. All right, so we're going to meet on hands and knees, and you are welcome to place a blanket under your knees. We'll be here for a little bit, so it's kind of nice to have a little extra cushioning. And as we arrive in our tabletop, our hands and knees position, go ahead and let your hips come over your knees, and let your hands set wide, so your collarbones feel wide right to left. And bring your shoulders over your wrists. Find a breath in, and find a breath out. Now the next time you inhale, outstretch your right leg with the toes tucked under. And just notice your hips, right? They're pretty level right to left. We're going to try to keep that and lift the right leg up. And then notice, did you start to open to the right? Did you start to sag through your abdomen and even let your pelvis tilt forward? Tap your toes. Could you lift that leg without changing too much your pelvis or your spine? Good. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then bring your knee under. Let's check it in on the left side. Give a strong push to the ground away. So you've got these nice support arms. Outstretch your left leg with the toes tucked under. Really lift and reach so that leg is super active. And then try not to lose any of that activity as you lift. And then tap the toes down. And we'll lift and lower a few more times, keeping a strongly engaged left leg and a relatively neutral pelvis and spine. One more time. Lift and lower. And bring your knee back underneath. All right. Remember that. We're going to come back to that in a little bit. Now let's take your left hand and walk it to the center, sort of right under your nose. Again, push strongly the ground away so you're not sagging into the shoulder joint. Use that use that strength to put the push away and find your support. And then slip your right hand to your right hip. I'd love you to keep looking down at your left fingers. And the next time you exhale, we're going to turn the belly and the chest to the right to whatever extent they do. And then inhale back to center. Exhale and turn. Inhale and center. Check it in one more time like that. And then come back to center. Keep everything else the same. Let's outstretch your left leg with the toes tucked under. Keep that strong lift and reach like before. Keep pushing the ground away. The next time you exhale, turn to your right to whatever extent you can. Come back to center. Exhale and turn. Inhale back to center. One more time. Good. Now, You can stay with this. You can take a break, or you could try as another exploration to lift your leg with the same intention of reaching up and back through that leg, and then find your twist to the right and back to center, and twist and back to center. Notice your range of motion. Mine feels significantly different. And back to center. Bring your knee down. Replace your hands. Take a moment to ease off your hands. Maybe a child's pose or sitting up on your heels. You're welcome to circle your wrists if they got a little tired, or shake them out. Great. Might even be nice to notice the way your left side feels having been engaged, and having rotated to the right, what that feels like. And we'll breathe back to tabletop. Let's take your right hand center, still under your shoulder. Give a little push of the ground away and slip your left hand to your hip. Find your inhale as you push the ground away. And when you exhale, turn your belly and your chest to the left. Did your head want to go? Mine did. Well, let's look down. Come on back to center. As you exhale, turn. Inhale, turn back to center. One more time. Exhale, turn. Breathe in, come back to center. Let's take the right leg out behind you with the toes tucked under. Again, that strong reach through the heel, lift through the thigh. Find your inhale, push the ground away. And when you exhale, turn. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, turn. Inhale, back to center. Again, we're turning to the left and back to center. You can take a break. You can stay with this, or you could try lifting your leg up. Push the ground away. When you exhale, turn. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, turn. And just notice what this side feels like. Inhale, back to center. One more time. Exhale, turn. I have a feeling like a little more freedom on this side. Back to center. Return your hands, return your knees. Again, a little child's pose, or elbows and knees, or just sit and breathe. Wiggle anything that needs to be wiggled. And let's return the table. All right, go ahead. Push your ground away with your spread out fingers. And slide your right leg out behind you with the toes tucked under. You know this part. Now, when you inhale, two things. Push the ground away so you feel your shoulder blades nice and firm right up with your rib cage. And lift your right leg up without disturbing your pelvis, right to left or front to back. Then let's take that right foot and step it all the way forward. And don't worry if your right hand has to lift. Just get it out of the way. You can always put it back down. Here, rise up into your fingertips or to blocks or even your chair. Tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee over a nice long lunge. There's that lift of the thigh, reach of the heel feel that we were trying to find on hands and knees a moment ago. When you inhale, slip your right hand to your hip. As you exhale, turn and make a twist to your right. And just notice in your twist, all the parts of you that are twisting. Let's take one more breath. Now go ahead, inhale, turn your belly and your chest back to the center, return your hand, and then plant your hands as best you can and step right into plank pose. Give a push of the ground away. Add in a slight reach of your heart forward, just a slight reach. Take one more breath. And then return your knees, tabletop. Let's go ahead and now stretch the left leg. Lift your left leg up without changing the pelvis too much. And when you exhale, step your left foot forward. Tuck your right toes under, lift your right knee, change your breath. And when you breathe in, slip your left hand to your hip, keep pushing the ground away. And when you exhale, turn to your left, make a twist. Again, notice all the parts of you that are twisting. And when you inhale, come back to the center, your hand to the ground, but let's step forward to forward fold, Uttanasana. Enjoy a breath in. Enjoy a breath in. When you breathe in, slip your hands onto your hips and lengthen your spine halfway forward. Exhale your breath. Then when you inhale, bring your pelvis all the way up to the stand. And so from here into Tadasana, let's share the weight pretty evenly between your 2 feet. And notice the structure of your legs, right? Particularly if you think about where your shins are, where it lands in the foot. This is nothing new, right? We're in bodies, we know this, but I know I forget it. So when you think about your shins being pretty vertical, the weight of your body is a little more toward the back third of the foot, right? The weight of your shin does not enter at your toes or even in the middle of your foot. It's a little further back. So let's bring the weight of the pelvis and the rib cage over the ankle bones. So we use that structure. Go ahead and inhale. Let your arms reach forward and up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Take a breath in. Stay connected to your heels. Exhale. Hinge your pelvis forward. Make a folding forward of your pelvis. Your spine staying pretty long for as long as you can. Let your hands find your shins for a moment. Stay a moment and just notice, did the weight creep forward toward your toes? Can it stay toward your heels? The next time you inhale, root into those heels, unhinge all the way up. And let's do that same exhale, hinge, and let your booty sit back. So the weight keeps moving a little bit back behind you so your shins stay pretty vertical. Inhale your way back up. And let's check it in one more time. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, come on up. All right, so here's where we're going to need our chair or our blocks for our ardha chandrasana, our revolved ardha chandrasana exploration. Okay, we've done a lot of this on the ground, on hands and knees. Now we get to do it here. As you inhale, slip your hands onto your hips. Exhale, hinge forward. And then let your hands find your chair seat. Press into your chair with those strong arms so your arms lengthen. And as you exhale, shift the weight over to your left heel. Inhale your right leg up and back behind you. And can you find the same line, the same feeling that you had in table, where the hips are still pretty level, right to left and front to back, right? Not too much of a cow pose in there. Push into your right hand a lot. Slip your left hand to your hip. As you inhale, firmly reach back through that leg and through your head. And as you exhale, turn to your left. And breathe your breath. And just notice all the parts of you that are twisting. Right? The pelvis might be twisting, your middle and upper back twisting. Take one more breath. Then breathe your way back to the center. Exhale to Uttanasana, forward fold. Let your head release. Enjoy a breath in. Enjoy a breath out. As you inhale, push down into your chair seat. Straighten your arms so you get that feeling of your chest reaching forward. Exhale and shift the weight into your right heel. Inhale your left leg up and back behind you. And we're just going to try to keep the pelvis for the moment relatively neutral. Right, here we are in sort of a supported warrior 3. And then from here, keep your left hand pressing into your chair seat, your right hand to your hip. When you're ready to exhale, turn to your right. You can twist. Keep the energy through that left leg. Keep rooting through your right heel. Invite one more inhale. One more exhale to twist. Breathe your way back to the center. Exhale your hand and your foot. Uttanasana. Let your head release. Maybe even rest your head on your chair seat for a moment. Let your shoulders soften. And then when you inhale, press down into your chair seat, straighten your arms. And then it might be really fun to walk and sit. Like straddle your chair like you were riding a horse. Rest your hands on the back or your arms on the back of the chair seat. And rest your head. And here, You can imagine it like a child pose with your upper back round a bit. It's totally fine. Just have a moment to pause and breathe. And then we can inhale. Just take a moment to notice the effects of your practice, your body, your breath. If you have time and you want to lie down in chandrasana or child pose for a few more moments, you're welcome to. But this was just, again, a little interlude, a movement interlude for your day, to have a little experience of twisting and playing around with parivrtta, ardha chandrasana, revolved, half moon pose. If you have any questions, you can always put a comment below, or if you have a thought, pop a comment in. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to YouTube, my YouTube page, please do so. And you can find out more about me and my classes by visiting my website, thisisyourbliss.com. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day.